Hello and welcome to another episode of our stories and conversations on mental health. I am your host, Matthew Modica, and in this episode, we have another PowerPoint presentation. So if you're watching this via YouTube, I hope you enjoyed. If you're listening via Spotify, please feel free to come over to YouTube so you can watch these presentations. Now, this one is based on mental health within children. So without further ado, let's get into it. Mental health in children and teens, a crisis we can no longer ignore. What we must understand, young people today face a challenging landscape that differs greatly from previous generations. The combination of academic pressures, the constant influence of social media, high family expectations, and the uncertainty surrounding their future has led to a quite yet profound mental health crisis. Don't label emotions, especially when it comes to mental health. Adults often have the skills and experience to tackle life's difficulties, but young people are still in the process of building emotional strength. When they face challenges, their struggles frequently show up in ways that adults might misunderstand, such as becoming rebellious, withdrawn, or spending too much time on screens. Rather than labeling these actions as ordinary teenage moods, we should see them as possible signals of deeper distress and need for support. The data on youth mental health is deeply concerning. In recent years, anxiety, depression, and self-harm rates among children and teens have surged dramatically. Often, these challenges stay under the radar as many young people feel too embarrassed, misunderstood, or scared to express what they're going through. Now, this data is from Beyond Blue. Half of the mental health conditions we experience at some point in our lives will have started by age 14. 1 in 7 young people aged 4 to 17 years experience a mental health condition in any given year. 1 in 10 young people aged 12 to 17 years old will self-harm. 1 in 13 will seriously consider an attempt to end. And 1 in 40 will attempt to do the one thing that we spoke about in the previous episode. In 2021 to 22, the rate of self-harm hospitalizations for young people aged 15 to 19 was 389 hospitalizations per 100,000 population, the highest of all aged groups. The causes of mental health. What's driving this crisis? While mental health is shaped by many factors, here are some of the most significant ones. Academic pressure and perfection. The constant push to excel in school, get top grades, and secure a promising future can leave children feeling like they are never good enough. The fear of failure creates overwhelming anxiety, often leading to burnout at an early age. Social media serves as a platform for connection, but also fuels feelings of insecurity. Constant exposure to picture-perfect portrayals of life can leave young people feeling unworthy. The relentless pursuit of likes, follows, and online approval takes a toll on their self-confidence. On top of this, cyberbullying adds another layer of harm, often leaving its victims to cope in isolation. Family expectations and emotional neglect. Young people often absorb the expectations placed on them by their parents, whether related to academics, career paths, or behavior. When they feel unable to meet these expectations, they may grapple with feelings of guilt, shame, or anxiety. Furthermore, the fast pace of modern life can lead many parents to overlook their children's emotional challenges, unintentionally leaving them to face these struggles on their own. The loneliness paradox. Connected yet disconnected. While technology has created opportunities for connection, many young people still experience deep feelings of isolation. The decline in meaningful face-to-face interactions has left them lacking the emotional support networks they urgently need. Trauma, abuse, and neglect. Whether from bullying, loss, parental divorce, or abuse, they all can have long-term mental health consequences. Many young people struggle with unresolved pain, leading to anxiety, depression, or unhealthy coping mechanisms. Warning signs. Important warning signs is to recognize children and teenagers may find it difficult to express their emotional challenges. As a result, their struggles often show up through behaviors that might not seem directly connected. Here are some key red flags to be aware of. Persistent sadness or feeling annoyed. Frequent mood swings, anger outbursts, or crying spells. Social withdrawal, avoiding friends, family, or previously enjoyed activities. Changing in eating or sleeping habits. Sleeping too much or too little. Loss of appetite or emotional eating. Difficulty concentrating, struggling with schoolwork, missing assignments or zoning out. Loss of interest. No longer engaging in hobbies or activities they once loved. Risky behaviors, engaging in self-harm, substance abuse, or reckless decision making. Expressing feelings of hopelessness, making statements like, "What's the point?" or "No one would care if I was here." What to do when we notice these signs? It's crucial that we respond with compassion, not criticism. And this is how we should support their mental well-being. Normalize conversations about mental health. It's vital to build an environment where children feel comfortable sharing their emotions without fear or being judged. Promote open, honest communications and emphasize that mental health is equally as important as physical health. Acknowledge their emotions. Avoid dismissive remarks like "you'll be fine" or "just toughen up." Instead, say things like "I understand," "that sounds challenging," or "I'm here for you." Recognizing their feelings can have a significant positive impact. Introduce healthy coping mechanisms. Teach kids effective stress management strategies such as mindfulness, breathing exercises, journaling, or engaging in physical activities. Encouraging them to explore hobbies that bring joy and relaxation. Set boundaries with social media. Help young people establish healthy limits on social media used to minimize comparison, digital dependency, and exposure to harmful content. Encourage more in-person, meaningful connections. Demonstrate emotional awareness. Children learn emotional habits by watching adults. When we openly address our own challenges and exhibit positive coping strategies, we empower them to do the same. And remember, seek professional help when needed. If a child is facing persistent struggles, reaching out to a therapist, school counselor, or mental health professional can make a profound difference. Therapy is a sign of strength and resilience, not weakness. That's why it's important to tackle this immediately, because mental health struggles in childhood don't simply fade away over time. If left unaddressed, these challenges can grow into long-term issues like anxiety, depression, or self-destructive behaviors. However, by taking action early, by listening, offering support, and providing guidance, we can help create a future where children feel understood, valued, and emotionally resilient. My final reflection. The youth is the future. The youth are the future. That is like the truth, is it not? The truth is the youth are the future. We need to help them. I know that sometimes it looks like the youth are off track, but that's because they've been taken off track, or they've gone off track, and no one is willing to help them and put them on track. Yes, trying to help teenagers can be hard. Some of them can be rebellious against it, but some of them aren't. The rebellious ones just need a bit more work. I used to be a rebellious kid. I used to always say, "I don't need help, I don't need help." It wasn't until I got into my late 20s, maybe early 30s, I realized I need help. And I'm not going to say I wish I had help back then, because everything I did and everything I've done and every choice that I made got me to where I am today, and I am very happy of where I am today. I have a beautiful wife and a beautiful child, and I'm happy. I don't want to change anything or wish I got help or anything back then, because it would change where I am today. But it would have been good to get help. Okay, like it's good. If you are a teenager right now, if you're a kid watching this or listening to this, don't feel that you're a coward. Don't feel that, oh, I don't need help. It's okay to get help when it comes to life. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Believe me, I used to think I don't need help, I'm fine. It's my family that make me this way. It's my teachers that keep, I'm not going to say bully me, but kept, you're going to go nowhere in life. You're going to, what I mean? That's the stuff that today's day and age, teacher says that they're gone. They'll be cancelled. But back in my day, like I feel like an old person back in my day. But yeah, back in my day, teachers would tell you that you were stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and that affected kids' mental health back then. I don't know what it's like today with schools and that, but I would blame school. I'd blame the teachers. I'd blame my parents. I'd blame everyone that I am the way I am. Once I get out, finish school, I'll be fine. Once I get away from this family, I'll be fine. Now I'm not fine. Like my OCD, I have real bad OCD, bad anxiety, and it's because I suppressed and didn't deal with all of my emotions when I was young. And I'm seeing a psychologist every week, a psychiatrist every 4 weeks. I'm spending a lot of money. No shit. Would be a lot cheaper if I had to deal with it back then. But I never dealt with my emotions, and now it's infecting me. You know what I mean? Like 20 years later, all the emotions that I bottled down, or when I would have my outbursts that weren't really dealing with emotions, they affect me now. So please, teenagers, kids, if you're finding it hard to deal with your emotions, you need to just seek support in that, because it will affect you. Don't think that once you leave this or leave that or get away from this or get away from that you're going to get better. You'll feel like you're getting better like I did. I felt like I was getting better. But then something big will happen in your life, like the birth of my child. I'm assuming that's what it is that triggered all of it. Like it just, just triggered everything. I don't know if it's just because I had a big year selling my apartment, getting stresses in my jobs, just I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on exactly, because in 1 year so much big things happened in my life. But something big will happen in your life, and all these emotions that you've bottled down for so long because you haven't learned how to deal with emotions, it makes things hard. So please, if you find it hard dealing with emotions, seek help, professional help. Speak to your school counselor, speak to psychologists or psychiatrists, whatever it is. Go see your GP, speak to them. Parents, please. As a father now, like I can tell you now, my son, I'm going to, I'm not going to ask him if he's all right every day, but like I'm going to watch out, because having a kid now, it makes me see that we really need to focus on the young generation. You know what I mean? They need help, especially in the world that we're in now. They need help. So please, parents, don't be too hard on your kids if they're having a bad day, because they do find it hard to speak up. I found it hard as a kid going through emotions. I never spoke up to my family. They never made it feel like they cared. I don't know. I don't know why. I just never did want to speak up to them. And they just might be scared to speak up to you because you might tell them to harden up. You know what I mean? You grew up in a generation where it's like, harden up. Go get some cement and harden up is what you'll say to them. So they are afraid to speak up to us. You might have a good relationship with your kid and they will speak up to you. And that's really good. But some kids might not have that really good relationship with their parents. And it's unfortunate for them. And I feel sorry for them. So please, if you're watching this, you need help, no matter the age, please seek help. Please seek support. I'm not going to say help, forgive me, support. Thank you for watching. If you have any stories that you would like to share, feel free to email me at mhcmatthewmodica@gmail.com, or message me on Instagram, which is MatthewModicaMHC, and I can share your story, keep it confidential. If you want to be on the show, you don't need to have your face on it. I can blur it all out. Email me, we can organise something via internet. That's no problem. But thank you for taking the time, for listening, watching. Truly appreciate it. Please, not only take care of yourself, but let's all take care of each other. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.